So stand, we'll call this meeting to order, please. Recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brown?
Here.
Mrs. Minnie?
Here.
Mr. Platzer?
Here.
Mr. Ethel?
Here.
Mrs. Trumbull here.
Somebody care to make a motion to accept our consent agenda for $314,594.11? Oh.
I'll second.
We have a motion and second to approve our agenda. Caroline, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Browne?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mr. Ethel?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes.
Okay, citizens wishing to address the township board. David Kleinstecker.
Hello. Yeah, Dave Kleinstecker, 3671 Burtchville Drive. Just looking for an update. There are some unanswered questions that you weren't able to answer.
On Ferndale.
Yeah.
I talked to the building inspector this morning. He said the place is all cleaned out inside. He said they're just waiting to start the project.
Okay, because I know some of the questions that we had before that you weren't sure about had to do regarding the lead paint and everything else. I'll tell you what, trying to find out anything from the state or anything else what was required. I finally did. They call the RRP, the lead paint RRP, remove, repair, and paint. Just to make sure that we make sure that those rules be followed as far as, plastic linings, if they're using a dumpster on the ground and things like that, things flying in the air. And
I will call that out with our building, with our building inspector.
Okay.
When they start the project.
And I know the one question was you weren't sure because you hadn't talked to, didn't get a clarification from Mike Riley last month, and that was what was considered a reasonable, completing the project in a reasonable time frame.
Well,
We didn't know
I talked to Mike about that too, and they gave him 90 days, so, a reasonable time frame, anything before the 90 days, I would think.
Oh, okay.
But
All right, that's because I've had neighbors ask me, since, a lot of them are working and can't get here, or just don't work yet. Because even as it stands today,
I've kept Tom right on it, every time he comes in, I ask him to go up and check and see
Okay.
what progress they've made up there.
Yeah, because this is even today, and I didn't stand on the property. This is about an hour ago.
You did see him?
And no, I did not stand on the property. That's where it was, even as, because, the neighbors all give permission for people to look at it, so. But anything exterior, nothing's been.
Nothing.
She comes about once a week
Roof, right?
with a pickup and throws stuff in it and drives it away, so. But roughly 90 days, it would be the expected.
That's what the magistrate gave him, was 90 days to have it completed.
Okay.
Gave him 90 days
So that'd be 90 days from the June 10th date.
from the June 10th date that they were in court, or, before the magistrate.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know, I was just curious, for Trumbull, if you had a chance to check out that administrative warrant thing?
No, I haven't. I asked Mike if he'd speak with Mike Riley about it, or our attorney. Did you?
I have not asked them.
Okay.
I've talked to
Okay.
him 2 or 3 times, and I
Okay.
forgot to ask him about it.
But we can, yeah.
I did talk to Mike about it, and he said, they're gonna go by what the court, or what the magistrate ordered was 90 days,
So within the next 60,
and-
we should see some significant.
Well, I'm hoping within the next 30 days we'll
Okay.
see something going on there,
Yeah. So that's just a photo update as of about an hour ago today,
Okay,
so.
okay, I appreciate that. But we're losing our zoning administrator, Mike, so we're in the process of looking for a new zoning administrator. He got called back to Marysville. He was working only 20 hours down there, and they added more hours to his time, and he just said he can't keep up with everything that's going on, so.
Okay. I appreciate
We're
your answers, okay.
We're
thank you.
working on getting another one, so.
All right, sounds great, thanks.
You're welcome. Sherry McCall?
I'm referring to the same thing. As you can see from the pictures, there is an open window on the side closest to the water, fully open. It was broken open, but they did break the corner out of it. That door is held with a couple of yard tools. Around the back, and mind you, I did not go on the property again. Around the back, there is a completely open door and a completely open window. The window, as you can see from the picture, is maybe a foot off the ground. Now, according to the blight ordinance, section 3, number 4, vacant building, the existence of a vacant dwelling, garage, or other outbuilding, unless buildings are kept securely locked, windows kept glazed or neatly boarded up, and otherwise protected to prevent casual entry thereto by unauthorized persons. Now, I can state for a fact, 4th of July, I walked down to the beach, and as I came back, I had my trusty flashlight, because I'm clumsy, and I kind of flashed, and 2 eyes looked back at me. And I flashed again, and luckily the 2 eyes were low, so I knew it wasn't one of the children, that our road, 4th of July weekend, was just a blast. There were people and kids all over. Now, you're talking 90 days, Labor Day falls within that. And again, our road will be filled to the gills. Now, most everybody does refer to it as the raccoon house and does try to keep their little ones away. But we have a couple of, I guess you could say, newer neighbors. They have been staying like at their aunt's house, and they have little ones that go up and down the road, and maybe 3, 4 years old. Now, normally there's a parent with them, but you know how excited you get coming up or going to the beach. I would hate to see one of them get in there. And as I said, right there in section 3, number 4, it says they should be boarded up. And as you can see from those pictures, they are not. And again, you know, we don't call it the raccoon house for nothing. We've had bats. You know, my house is 3 down, but there are times at night you can go through and the bats will, and you know they're coming from there. It's not, you know, there's no tree.
I will talk to Tom when he comes in, and I make sure that they get those boarded up, you know.
Yeah,
At least boarded up. I'm hoping that they start the process of remodeling it soon. I know they got a sign out there in front. There's a builder sign out there.
No.
There's
No,
not?
there was a sign
Well,
when
I
they
thought Tom
put,
told me there was.
when they put the roof on, there was a sign, and the sign is now gone.
That hasn't been that sign out there probably in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been, yeah, at least the last meeting.
Well, I can even call them and find out what their timetable was.
The other one was.
I'll get Tom to make sure that they close that up, lock it.
Exactly, I can see this in the picture,
Yeah,
that
make sure they lock it.
door that's gone, that window that's open.
Okay.
And the one door that
And the-
is there is just being held up. The one night they were taking stuff out of the front, and I was sitting across the road with a neighbor, and literally, I mean, again, there was that smell, and like this weather, you can just, the mold and the smell just permeates. And again, I have asthma, and, you know, that cuts me walking down to the beach or, yeah, taking, you know, a dog for a walk. It's like we go to the mailbox.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll get Tom to make sure that they close up all those openings that are open, and try to push this thing along, you know, see what they're gonna do with it, so. Sherry Hammond?
Well, we're members of the community here, we're a little concerned about maybe getting speed reduction at the corner on 125, or a light put in, or something.
I have a call into the sheriff. He didn't return my call, but I called him this morning regarding the same thing.
You
You know,
have?
I called him this morning. I have not talked to him. He has not called me back.
Okay, I went up to the Department of Transportation today, had a talk with them. They told me in order to get this rolling, get it started, you have to... Here, I need to give this to you. And they said here at the township, the board members that are in control down here, this is the man, I'm sorry, I'll walk very well. This is the man they need to contact. Our office here for Department of Transportation in Michigan will be closing, and it will be moving farther down into the Detroit area. So I got a chance to talk with him. I spoke with this man today,
Okay.
and he said he's trying to get on top of it, where he's starting to try to get things moving and motivated on this. But you just need to email this guy right here. They said just send a brief email of some type so that he knows what's going on here and that he can address the problem.
Okay.
But we're trying to see what we can do. And we're not the only community members. I mean, like, everybody here is just devastated over 3 accidents in 1 month. And it's getting worse.
Well, I agree. I always agreed that the speed limit through here should be reduced down to, you know, any place that you drive through the back country and
Right,
go through these little towns and villages, stuff. I mean, most of the traffic's dropped down to 25 miles an hour when you go through the main area. It drops down to 45 and then down to 35, and you get right into Hart, like at Lakeport there. From there, past the church, I figure it should be dropped down to 35 miles an hour. But
Well, also, you know, it kind of, US 25 cuts our community in half. So in order to go from side to side, I've lived here my whole life. I used to live up in Birch, now I live on the lakeside. And in order to come home from my dad's house, I have to go all the way up to Betty's Market, turn around in there and drive back to my house on the other side.
well, it's a
Because
hard,
most of the time you can't get through, it's so congested, there's no other way about it.
well, it's a hard
So
turn to
today-
make.
Today we went and took pictures of like the area, and I was so unaware of this because we usually do not travel northbound, we're always between Port Huron and back. You pull to the corner of Birch, and if you'll notice, if you do this, you'll get to the corner of Birch, there is a closed part that like where everything, the traffic goes in towards Northland Gardens, and whatever fits in there in the short time when you're looking at it, if you didn't look at it right away, you will see there's nothing there, and all of a sudden traffic comes right back out and it's right in your face.
We go through it every day. I
Yeah,
look
it's
through
not
it every
everything
day.
we do, we use it.
It really needs
You know,
to
by
be
the time you
addressed.
look north, then you look south, you know, especially if you're gonna turn left there. You know, and if you don't look back north again, there can be a car right on top of you there. And
Yeah.
that was what I was gonna discuss with the
And
sheriff.
everybody in the neighborhood too, they have loved ones that work away. My husband works away. And the only reason why I got up to one of the first people to the accident site, and usually are because we live right at the corner, and I sat outside waiting for my husband to pull in the yard. And that's not something you want to hear when you're waiting for the husband to pull around the corner.
Yeah, I understand that. I'll email this guy tomorrow morning. That's really what I called Tim about, is to try to get somebody, you know, to get somebody on the ball to look into, you know.
Right, because we want to follow
reducing
this as far as it can go and keep with it,
the speed.
because.
But
this
maybe
is
you
just-
can remember, Alan, I don't know. Was the speed lower through here at one time?
No.
It's always
It's
150.
always-
We've asked 2 or 3 different times, and the state police review it, and they say no. But Bill, there's a guy by the name of Bill Fockler, he's from Macomb. He was up here Thursday night doing investigation for MDOT, and he's going to put a letter in requesting it too, so.
Well, I think,
The
I
MDOT
think
has, MDOT had acknowledged that we do have a school here, and we also have the state park there also.
Right,
And now that
schools
people are
closed.
starting to use both sides too, it's making it more frequently used. You know,
Well,
it's not
I
just
always
one side
thought
or
that the
another.
speed limit should be reduced through here to begin with,
Yep.
you know.
I thought there was a new law that the townships do have more input into that now.
I hope so.
We were just up to the cottage.
How would you check into that? Can you go online to actually check into that?
Yeah, I can call and find out.
Okay.
And when you go up, I mean, we travel back and forth to Harbor Beach, and you get to Forestville, and it goes from 50 to 40. And Gary and I look at each other, there is absolutely nothing there except a post office. I mean, every store has closed, there's nothing if you're down to 40 miles an hour. And I'm like, what's the deal here? I mean, you have nothing, look at what we have, and we're 50 miles an hour, and it's terrible.
Well, they're coming
Over
from
by
the
the
north
mall,
at
it's the same.
55, and they rarely slow
Pardon me?
down.
At the end of Metcalf over there by the mall, all of those little streets that come out are starting to get stop signs. You know, we have more traffic that flows through here by double the amount every single day.
And most of them are
And for
speeding
it
when
to-
they're going through it too.
Yeah.
They're not, the problem is, they're not doing 50, they're doing 50,
Right.
55.
Right.
You know, that's the biggest problem.
Easily, yep.
In the morning, I guess closer to 70, because my husband is one of those little old drivers who toodles along at 50 miles an hour and people zoom by him.
They pass it
probably
in
doing
that
70.
turning lane there in
Yeah,
front
the
of
double
the church.
yellow, they go right
Yeah,
by
they
the
go
double.
Right over
yeah,
the
it's
double
incredible.
yellows.
Yeah.
I've been past going over the double yellows and I
If
probably.
the county needed some money, they ought to set a
Right.
couple cars there for a
Yeah.
couple weeks and get all kinds of money for traffic.
Well, the problem
Yeah,
is
but
that
two
they
ice
will
cream
do
parlors.
that. They will post a state car out here
Yeah, I've
for
seen
maybe
it.
a week or two, and all of a sudden, they get their share full of tickets and they go away. Well, our community is left with the same thing all over, and it's a non-stop program.
Well, and it may take the community to really start a letter writing campaign to the state highway department to do something about it, so. We'll get a hold of this guy and see what he has to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Is there anybody else that wishes to address them? Okay, moving on, I would ask for a motion to approve our agenda, but we need to make a few additions to it. And most of this stuff come in right at the end of the week and today, so what I'd like to do, add approval of our audit, which we received. And I'd like to put that as C under new business. And then the rezoning of Mr. Cuplin's property as, let's see, we need to do that as D. And, yeah, that's all. So we've got two with those additions on. If somebody would care to make a motion to approve our agenda?
I'll make a
Those
motion
additions?
to approve the agenda with C and D added.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Department heads. Oh, where's Mark? Oh, Mark, you must have got tied up. Building department, Al, do you have anything for our building?
No, not really.
Okay. I think Mark's gonna be here later, so when he comes in, we'll turn it back over to him. Jane, library?
Just the library system director will be at the library on July 23rd at 3:30. She'll basically have a question and answer session if anybody wants to ask anything about the library and the upcoming millage, the library as a county department, any of those kind of concerns. If anybody wants to ask her a question or address something, it's this Wednesday at 3:30.
And what's that date again,
Well,
Jane?
Wednesday, July 23.
Okay.
3:30.
Thank
We'll
you.
make sure we put that on the website.
Okay. Get it on there quickly.
Well, I think you should put it on there
That was all.
that quick. Okay, thank you. Unfinished business.
It's not on the website now, Jane?
I don't know, I didn't.
Is it on your library website?
Yes, it'll be on the library's website, yeah.
Okay.
New business, Township Park Pavilion and electrical use. We've talked about letting people reserve that pavilion up there for class reunions, family reunions, things, before it was a first come, first served basis, and and anybody do any checking in? I checked, I was at a gathering in Gladwin 3 weeks ago, and they have 3 pavilions in their park, and they rent them out for $50 a piece. You can reserve them for $50, and that includes the use of the electricity and I don't know, Caroline, did you check with the county?
County charges way more than that.
Well, I know they do, I know they do.
$250. Grant Township charges 25 right now, but they're considering raising that because the 25 includes the electricity. And that's it.
So any other ideas or suggestions?
How does Grant control it?
They're working on that because they were having some issues, and the same thing we would run into. People are used to just going there and using it, right? Okay, this is something I was gonna bring up under the clerk's report, but anyway, they suggested, I talked to Sue Dieter, who's in charge of the parks and rec, and I thought the same thing, put a little frame with a plexiglass window in it or something and a lock, and put the, that is reserved for such and such a date, you know. Plus, we would have the calendar year for strictly that, like we do the old town hall. And then if it's not in there, then we could even put, if there are a lot of them booked, we can put those dates all in at one time, or if there's only one, or whatever, but so that people are aware when they go there that it's reserved for that day. Meaning that they can use the electricity too.
Any other feelings?
I haven't, had an occasion to use it, but certainly with having the electricity, which we just got, last year, 2 years now?
Last year.
Last year. I think we have to charge, and the biggest thing is gonna be figuring out how to do it.
Well,
I mean, how to let people know.
we've already had 2 people use it, electricity.
Right, no, but I mean, so that the residents know it's not just up for free grabs every week.
Right, that's why I would suggest that we'd have a little frame made.
Right,
again,
but what I'm saying is.
and put it on the website. And, it's still gonna be up for grabs, I think, quite a bit of the time, but
Well, I would think probably
you never know, because
60-70% of the time that it's not gonna be,
well, you never
at least,
know.
but you never know, because if people know they can reserve it, then it may get used a lot more.
Well, the other thing is,
Yeah.
I would suggest that we restrict it to Burtchville Township residents again, as we do with the old town hall. I mean, the park pavilion is available, anyone can rent that, and people do. It's booked already for the whole year and probably part of next year. They have, 3 pavilions there now?
At Fort Gratiot.
At Fort Gratiot, I'm sorry.
Well, I certainly wouldn't be against, just limited to residents of Burtchville Township.
That's just limited to the pavilion.
That's
The
right,
pavilion,
that's
yeah,
right.
It's a pavilion,
I
period.
mean, if
That's
you're
it.
having a party there and I want to go over with my kid and play on the.
No,
No,
it's
no,
only the
The only
pavilion.
thing you're renting is in case of rain.
They're not
It's
renting the
covering your
volleyball
head.
area or nothing.
No, they're not.
It's a
That's
public
good.
park.
No,
Yeah, I know.
it's a public park. The only thing they're gonna be reserving is the pavilion itself in case of rain or something like that. That's it. And the use of the electricity if they're serving food there and stuff, and they have cookers or something like that they want to plug in to keep the food warm and stuff, it's available for them. And I think we should just let that in with the people that run it. John?
I know Porter Township has 3 pavilions down there. You probably could call them and find out what they're doing with theirs, because I know theirs are always running.
For your
Yeah, they
township?
rent them,
Right down at the
yeah,
end of Beach Road.
right. Right. I just didn't get their price.
Kimball has some too, don't they?
Yes,
They're off of
right.
69, yeah.
Most of them, I think, are more than my thought was 50 max. We see that we're paying $30 minimum, it looks like, for our electricity a month.
Well, that was the July bill, right? Or June for any.
That was June.
Probably June.
Probably
Yeah.
due July 30th.
Yeah.
Probably. But the April, there it said, credit of 270,
That's
okay?
because they overcharged.
Oh, they-
It was $300 or something during the winter and I called and got it. So, it's a credit.
Yeah.
So is that something we want to table till further notice? Or
Oh, I don't, I
anybody-
really don't want to, because we have people, I have somebody who wants it August 2nd, we have people wanting to book it for 2015 already. apparently the word's getting out that that's what we're considering. I think we should make a decision tonight. I'd like to see it.
Well, I'll make a motion that we rent it for people that want to secure it, you know, put a rental on it for $50.
This is August, when's that?
When are you gonna start it?
There.
When? You started August 1st,
We can start it
you know, really.
tomorrow.
Yeah, but I mean, you know.
Well, I know,
yeah, You know,
you need to know.
I would think
Yeah.
as of August 1st, we'll put it into the rental business. Now, the church,
I don't know what
They
date it
do it at the
is.
same time? or
Theirs
is it 5K?
is all
they're
this,
doing it a little different this year.
Oh, are they?
They want the pavilion for Friday night.
23rd, probably.
The 20, is it the 22nd?
It's probably the 22nd, but I think that's the 23rd.
The 22nd and the 5K, they're gonna have the 5K race Saturday morning, and they're gonna have the dinner and the movies and all the stuff for the kids
Saturday night.
on Friday night.
Oh, Friday night.
On
Oh,
Friday-
that's Friday night. Okay.
Yeah, on Friday night.
in August.
In August. And I think that, you know, because it is a community, it really is a community deal, has been a community deal for the last few years, that we should not charge them to use that. I mean, we can limit it to them. I think last year we considered it like a township function, because the whole township was invited to the thing, so, you know, I think it was the use, but I mean, and that's only my opinion. So
Well, what we
I'm
could do
willing to
is,
hear any other suggestions.
What we could do, Mike, is help sponsor that, like as we have Little League, and contribute $50 toward that community, because it is an entire community event. They,
Yeah, it is,
Yeah,
well, that's what I
free.
say, it's a community
Well,
event.
that would be, you wouldn't contribute 50, you just do it as a write-off. You know, we get a special mention in your program that says pavilion sponsored by Burtchville Township.
do you go to that church?
No, but it's like, I know the ham operators come up too.
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe like for this year, don't charge them, but next year, you know, say, like the couple people that have already booked, say, okay, this is the deal, you know, right now, you know.
Right, the
it's
ham
true,
operators
but
don't use the
after-
pavilion at all,
you
they
know.
just use the
They use
interior.
the park.
Yeah, that's,
But there was a graduation party last weekend, and a soccer field party, something going on, celebration, whatever. So it's being used.
Well, I really think that once people can reserve it and know they can reserve it, that it will get reserved quite often. Because that was always the plan before. People, well, you know, we're not gonna take a chance on having a party with 45 or 50 people here and have a rainy day and no place to put them.
But they
That
did.
happened on Friday over there. We had a birthday party for my father and my niece. And we went over there and there was no place to park and no place to get in. And then the whole family was supposed to be there and they had to back out of it. You know,
At the
if they knew-
township park?
At the
Yes.
township park?
And if
Friday?
they knew they could have rented the
It was
pavilion
last-
or they could have rented it ahead of
Last
time,
Sunday, I believe.
that would have really been helpful.
Yeah,
because
no,
Yes.
I think it's a
They have
service, I
birthday
think it's a
there.
service to the people. And I don't think they mind paying $50, you know.
No, they wouldn't mind.
Yeah, it's the same thing with our family reunion every year, when this Grand Rapids rent a pavilion in one park, it's got like 5 or 6 pavilions. But if you've got people coming in from the state, they know they've got the pavilion, they know they've got the space.
Yeah.
So you can do the planning, get
Yeah.
the invites out and everything else and say, this is where it's gonna be at what time. And all they do, they just have a placard that, you know, this holds like a 8.5 by 11
Sheet.
Right.
It's
thing, it says,
reserved.
July, whatever date it is, such and such a family, noon to 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just on that particular pavilion, so.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem, really.
yeah, and you could do a little sign like above it, to reserve, you know, and,
Right.
you know, phone number and office hours.
Mm-hmm,
Because that's what a lot of them, most of them have anymore.
mm-hmm.
And you can, I've seen people driven out at Marysville where, you know, you've done the 6 a.m. and you have the picnic tables, but you don't have the pavilion reserved, and if you don't, so sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to let people know that that's what we're doing now, that's for sure.
I'll
Well,
second the
We
motion.
have a motion on the floor to charge $50, reserve fee for the pavilion.
And we do have a time limit on
I
the,
seconded.
I'm sorry, we do have a time limit already on the park. I forget what it is it 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
Okay. So it's not like they can book it for half the night and have music, loud music, or whatever.
Well, no, we'll make that, we'll just set a rule, you know.
Yeah.
is that right?
Well, we already have our rules.
Yes, we do already have our rules, they're posted right there.
Okay, we have a motion to reserve the park for a $50 fee, including the electricity. I guess we'll have a roll call vote.
Starting when?
August 1st.
Good.
Is somebody gonna put a sign up there right away?
I hope so. You want to build one? No.
That's the problem, but we hope so, but nobody.
Well, we'll get a
Well, all we need is a
I'll get
frame,
sign.
Al, I mean, it can be
You know, we
rough.
probably need to go over to the sign place over there and have her make something that's fairly big so people see it. 'Cause
Well, I don't
people
know, I
may-
think the 8.5 by 11 sounds good. We can slip that reserve thing right in the box.
I'll make sure that we get a sign.
And make sure you print it on fluorescent paper, pink or green, or.
People that have made their plans for their parties already, and
Well,
Well,
we have no way of knowing, that's the only thing, I mean.
Well,
but those people have to get there at 5 in the morning to reserve the tables, right? Or 6.
Yeah, but they're there at 5 in the morning, and somebody shows up there
Uh,
at 10. and says,
That's
"Get
what
out of
Grant
here."
had happen, and that's why I think we need a sign of some sort to show. And we need to let everybody know that.
well,
that's
it
what
needs
we're
to get on the website
Mhm.
tomorrow or the next day, and
doing.
okay, roll call vote.
Mhm. Okay, Mr. Apple.
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie.
yes.
Mr. Bryla.
Yes.
Mr. Platzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes.
Motion carries. Okay, we need to amend our rules for the usage of the township hall. Amend item C on page 3 of the rules of the township hall. And that's,
So we just need to change that so it's after the next regular accounts payable date.
Right.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
You know, refund after the meeting, but we want to change that to,
That's just what you got, Roger.
yeah.
Right.
I'll make that motion, change that.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? I'll second.
I do have one question though.
Mm-hmm,
If you go up, the top of that page that you gave us,
right.
it says they have to spend at least 15 days prior to the rental date. That's if they want to cancel. Is that right? But it also says there, Burtchville Township will refund the security deposit penalty.
Yeah,
I
we
don't know
will
if we
refund
need-
the security deposit, not the rental fee. If they notify us 15 days prior to the rental date, you
Yeah.
don't have the whole thing there.
Yeah, I know I don't.
Yeah, that they're gonna cancel.
But I'm wondering if we need the same thing in there, because if they notify 15 days, it still could take a week or so before, it's not like they're gonna get their.
Oh,
Or is this
okay.
enough down here and see? Just because I seen it up there, that's the only reason I asked them.
I think C does it myself, I don't know
Okay,
what,
that's fine.
just because it, you know, we will return it if they cancel within 15 days. That's what that's saying. But I thought C, changing C, what do you think? I mean, I'm just one person.
I'm not sure, I just seen that ad there. and
I think that
figured
would
that's what
handle it,
was for.
that was gonna be the statement that we'll do that on an accounts payable day. We have 2 of those a month, so that should work, I would think. I think.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to amend,
Mm-hmm.
and the second. Do we need a roll call vote or just a voice vote? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to our audit, we got our audit report back from our auditors. It was a very good report. Everybody had a chance to browse through it, take a look at it. Are there any questions or concerns about it?
Looks fine to me.
Would somebody like to make a motion that we accept the audit? as
I
is?
will.
And do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve our audit. ask for a roll call vote, Carolyn.
Okay, Mrs. May?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mr. Bravo?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes.
Motion carries.
I think they do a great job. I haven't heard any, they're here, they do.
Very good to work with.
Okay, moving on, the next thing on the agenda is Mr. John Cuppin's property approval for, approval for.
Rezoning.
Yeah, I'll get it right, rezoning.
I'll have those minutes when we
The rezoning of that property and Al, you got any,
The planning commission had a public hearing last Tuesday, and there was absolutely nobody against them. There was only 2 couples in the audience, neither one of them actually lived in Lakeport.
You make game
Well,
of that even
well,
voting?
no,
Yeah, one
no,
does.
Churchmen lived in Lakeport.
Well, so do the other couple.
Well, they were all in North Road.
Well, that's
But, I mean, not.
not downtown.
All the people, the property owners that were sent letters specifically, nobody,
Right, that's right.
yeah, nobody came.
we need to send that down to Metro Planning as a courtesy, but we can approve it tonight.
Yeah, I think Bob already sent it there, didn't he?
No,
Oh,
it has to come from us after we approve it.
Yeah, after we approve it, but I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the rezoning of John Cuppin's property and with the approval of the County Road Commission and all utilities, and that way he'll be able to get his permits.
Yeah, that has to be, we have to have the approval of all the utilities as your, engineer worked on that. Does she have that?
She told me everything was a go on that, just,
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah, we need it in
before you
writing
get
somewhere.
permits that, from the County Road Commission and all your utilities that are gonna be put in there, that's fine, and that way you'll be able to pick up your permits. And we are gonna send it down to the County Road Commission.
Metropolitan Planning.
Planning, So,
And then the other thing, John, is,
what we're trying to do is expedite so you can get your,
yeah,
your
it's,
permits and stuff.
we haven't done one of these in a long time, so I had to hunt up the rules, and, it can be effective after we get the, utilities and road permits, and she probably already has those then, maybe.
I'm sure she does.
Okay, then it's, in effect, after we approve it, 7 days after it's published. We have to publish the summary of this too. So then, 7 days after it's published, which we have to get the minutes done, then you should be ready to go.
Okay. If I get a copy of those papers and I bring them up,
Then we can, then it would be approved from our end,
okay.
and then we have to publish it, and then 7
I
days
guess what
after.
I'm getting at is this gonna be approved tonight, or is it gonna have to wait till next month?
No, it's gonna.
It's
well,
waiting on
We're making a motion to approve them tonight.
All right.
You
That's
know.
what I was
That
waiting,
way you can.
contingent on getting
get all
the,
your-
all those papers to us, okay? Or to Tom, yeah, to us, we have to have them.
So we have to publish it, it has to be published 7 days. Okay? We have a motion on the floor to accept the rezoning of the property. Do we have a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any further discussion? I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Okay, just a second. Okay, Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes. Mr. Browett?
Yes?
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Okay, so as soon as you can get those to us, John, we can get the minutes together, get the summary published, then you have 7 days from that point, and then you can have your permits.
All right, thank you.
Or you can apply for a permit. I can't say you can have your permit, that's up to the building man, right?
Okay, moving on, supervisor's report. I just want to,
Do you want to do Mark?
I'll do Mark.
oh, yeah, let's do Mark. Mark?
He sneaked in.
This is, we're jumping back up to the department
Thank
reports.
you. I had an interview and then we got a fire call, so all got all into the central.
Okay.
I just had two things, since I missed it, the international fire code ordinance.
The attorney's drafting one up. Did you get
I
that?
dropped that book off.
Did you draft the book?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, all right.
he'll be drafting up that ordinance for
All
us.
right. And then, in light of the accident we had the other day, is it how much effort, and what does it take to?
You weren't here.
Oh, you guys already talked about it?
Yeah,
Maybe get this dropped to 40 through Lakeport?
We're
I
gonna
think
work on that.
35 would be
Yeah.
nice.
Well, you'll never get
Me too.
35, you know, but I,
Really?
40.
you know, I
It's
would say-
35?
I would say you could probably get it to 40, but anyways, just to reduce straight through from the state park to the Lakeport Drive.
Yeah,
kind
well,
of
just,
thing.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say, starting at the Lakeport Drive.
But there's a 50 sign right there at Lakeport Drive, there's
Yeah.
a 50 sign, you know, at the state park entrance.
I'd say.
But we did talk about that earlier, you know, any of the communities you go through, the speed limit drops down in a business area like that to 35 miles an hour.
And they dropped it in Jetto.
It's 35,
Yeah, I mean, not that we're better than Jetto, but if they can slow it down, that's not a highway, it's state highway either, that's a
Yeah,
local
that's a-
highway.
yeah,
It's
it's
not a
a-
bigger deal than the state highway, but in the light of that, I just wanted to see if we could.
We've got the
Okay.
names of the people from the highway
You know,
department.
even Wildcat and Gilbert there, they have a stoplight.
you know.
We have a heck of a lot more
But to change
traffic.
that to a light, I know that it'll create numerous more accidents, because everyone who's used to having that light for years, not having a light, there will be running the light.
Yeah,
And
why?
it's
But
gonna
if they
create a
can
million
slow down
accidents
before
for
them.
years, because everybody's gonna run the light.
Yeah, that was,
But reaction time and all that, we all know that from driver school, from 50 to 40, your reaction time gives you a lot more time for mistakes to be corrected.
absolutely. And that is a bad corner, as you know.
When we
You know,
get
you
it
can
slow-
look
at
north,
least if we could
You
get
can
it
look
slowed down
south, and you
first.
look, and you decide you're gonna pull out of there, and there can be a car right on top of you.
Well, and you forget when you're gonna go left off of Birch, you have to cross 3 lanes to get into your lane. It's not a normal highway where you're turning right or turning left across a 2 lane, it's no big deal. You have less chance for error, but when you have to go across 3 to get to your lane, that's a lot further distance, but you guys already discussed it, so sorry to.
Oh, no, that's okay, that's okay.
So if something needs to happen on my end, you guys know that we'll write whatever.
What I said is we need to really, the whole township needs to get behind the thing and start writing, you know, whatever it takes. We're gonna talk to this guy tomorrow from the state highway department, find out exactly what it takes, if it's a letter writing campaign or what we need to do, so.
Hey, I have a question on that. What about a petition, a neighborhood petition for the whole township? Would it help to start one? I don't know.
Well, it probably
Never
will.
hurts.
I'm sure, let me check with him and to see exactly what he says.
Okay,
You know,
well,
Maybe,
he says
maybe
that-
something easier than having to go through all that stuff, but
But if
with the
it's-
state highway department, I don't,
I know that
right.
you
too.
know, but.
The other thing is talkback. You know, the squeaky wheel sometimes.
It's very effective.
I think talkback can be
But on
effective.
Lake, that's on local things, but on state issues, the people in Lansing or some other agencies in Flint
Never
really
gets
doesn't
more.
ever read talkback, you know.
Yeah, but, okay, we
You
do
know,
have
I mean, I
MDOT that deals with
Actually,
it.
you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You'd be
You know,
surprised
they
with
told me
talk
today, I can't go any higher than what I've done today. I can't go past MDOT because they own the road. This is
Well,
their free.
maybe you can, but I
call your
can,
legislator.
I can call our state senator.
You can
Yes.
call the
And,
state senator.
Senators,
Senators,
legislators.
Right.
Senators, right,
You know,
They're
they-
running for office.
Well, I think
See
it
what-
initiates with.
They're up for office this year.
That's right.
Let's see what we find out tomorrow.
Never
and then,
hurts.
Yeah, well, the governing agency of that area probably has to be on board with it before, you know, if you guys on board with requesting it, you know, I think that it starts from that point,
Yes, it does, because that,
you know.
the number and the name of the guy I gave you earlier, he's in control of all. And he said if he's given an email requesting what this township wants as a whole for the community, it doesn't have to be major, but brief, so they can get it started.
Yeah.
And he also, the other gentleman I talked to today, he told me that he will do his best to try to get that moved before this is addressed to him, but it's gonna take you guys to address it.
Okay. Well, we'll get it going tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Supervisor's report, I just wanted to let you know that we got a letter from Sheldon Beach subdivision requesting us to draft the petitions for the special assessment district. which, you know, to pay for their roads, so we are gonna do that. This has been going on since spring, you know, they've asked us to do this, so.
And what, I mean, is it,
It's a special assessment.
right, but what roads? The ones that aren't getting done by
The ones that are not getting done by the new
drain?
drain commission that are going through there, and I'm thinking it includes Berry Drive, Clyde, Blue Water Drive, and Wild Rose Lane, the section from there that aren't getting done, they want to redo the rest of the roads in there, so we're gonna do a special assessment district and let them get their financing with no charge. There isn't gonna be any cost to
Right.
the township, it's all gonna be billed back to Sheldon Beach subdivision, so I just wanted to make you aware that the request was granted today and to start the process.
Okey-dokey.
So, that's all I've got. Caroline?
Okay, well, actually, Mike, we do have, as you all have in your correspondence, from Senator Pavlov, he wondered if we wanted to draft a resolution, adopt a resolution to prohibit the nuclear waste repository in the Great Lakes Basin, which is in Canada. Is there anything we want to do?
I would make a motion that we want to do that resolution. I mean, you know, putting this stuff right in less than a mile away from Lake Huron, you know, furnishes drinking water to millions of people, you know, not only in the United States, but in Canada also, you know, and I think it's a resolution that we would want to get behind and support. You know, we get our drinking water out of Lake Huron too, you know, so I would think that we can do it at this time, or, you know.
We can approve drafting one. We
Yeah.
don't have one drafted yet.
No,
so
no, we
we'll
need
get
to draft a resolution. And there is a layout sheet here for the resolution.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and second that we put support behind the resolution for nuclear waste dump.
Mike. I was answering Ruth's question, Mike.
Oh.
But you made the motion,
Okay.
right?
And so I guess, not all in favor, do we need a roll call vote on that to do a
No.
resolution?
Okay. Yes.
Let's do a roll call.
Okay.
Roll call vote, please.
Okay, Mr. Apple.
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie.
Yes.
Mr. Breiler.
Yes.
Mr. Plancer.
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes. And
And if
then,
anybody would like a copy of that, I do have those, I can run you off a copy of the resolution and what they're doing over there.
okay, so also, the next question was, do we want to sell St. Clair County plat books? The new edition is out.
Well, we want to get it going for us.
Yes.
We used to sell them here. Why
We did.
didn't we?
How many people asked for them?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody
stacked up. I don't know.
They're $30.
They cost $30. And how many do we want to stock?
How many are they
We
recorded?
didn't have to pay for them, I don't think, did we? Did we?
Well, we may have gotten ours free, the township.
I thought we just gave them the money or something.
I got the idea by that letter that we had to pay $30
Yeah.
for ours too.
Yes.
That's my understanding.
Right.
It was pretty plain.
Right, we do.
The amount is $30,
That's right.
you know.
But I don't know.
What we
But I
can
don't know
see,
how
Al,
many
is,
times-
you
I
know
don't know
what?
that we want to pay extras.
Do we want, that's what I'm saying, do we want to buy, do we want to have a couple here to sell? You know, and then what are we selling for? You know, I guess $30.
$30.
Well, and they could go down there and get one for $30 too.
There's a sign out on Wadham's Road, just south of Lapeer.
Yeah.
Someplace there. is
That's the
selling them.
conservation
Yeah,
district, or office, yes, USDA office.
that's not that far to send them to.
Yeah,
Just go to
and
the
we don't have to
township
purchase them ahead of time, but would we like to purchase
Just go to every
one?
township.
Yeah, but it says if your township is interested in stocking them, they have available for sale. Please contact my office.
Right.
Well,
So
we
we
can
can
work
work
on
on
calls.
Let's see.
Maybe
We
they'll
have-
give them to us on consignment.
That's what they did before, I'm sure they did.
Well, maybe.
I don't know, Al, I don't remember, it's been a long time since we've had them.
Well, yeah, they're only doing one every 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's look into it.
Yeah. Do we want to purchase one?
I make a motion, we purchase one for the township. We have a second on that motion?
Sure.
We have a motion and a second to buy one for the township. We're spending money, so we need a roll call vote.
Mr. Ansel?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Clancer?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
The motion carries.
And we'll look into what it takes to supply them if we, or stock them if we have to pay for them. I'm not excited about that.
Well, we'll see what he has, maybe the third or fourth they have here.
Okay.
As we get, as we sell.
And, something else that came up. All right, clerk's report. Private parties at the old township hall, I think we need to add to our rules that it must be confined to the building. With a capacity of 62. And also, that maybe we should put a couple of signs in front of the library stating that there's a couple of parking spaces anyway for library use only during library hours. Because we're having a little bit of a conflict here where people can't get parked to go to the library when we've got an event going on at the town hall, like showers or graduation parties or whatever it is.
Well, I think we could put the signs there, but whether they get observed or not, that's gonna be the,
Well,
question.
it's worth a try maybe, but it's up to you guys, it's up to everyone.
Well, what's everybody else think? I don't know. And where are we gonna put them?
Yeah.
Drive them in the lawn, on the side of the parking? I don't know. I think there's enough parking around. I mean, I know they can't park right in front of the library and walk in, but they can park on the other side and walk around.
Not when the building's booked, that's booked solid, they're parking over in the church parking lot, they're parking on the street. But, you know,
How many complaints have we had?
I wish Jane was still here. It's talked about regularly from the library.
You can only control so much.
They'll still park there, they'll go to the library for a second, come back out and go the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think until we,
The bike path, they tore it up.
was that Jane that just walked out here?
Yes, you left.
She left a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Well, I'll still make a motion now that we contain that the private parties must be confined to the building during the time that it's going on. And, you know, we do have a sign ready to go with capacity of 62. It's not up yet, but anyway, because they do ask about that all the time.
No, that's fine. I'll second that motion.
How you gonna police that?
Huh?
How you gonna police that?
Well, we have somebody that checks on the building if they know that there's.
Well, again,
If they're a bunch of
and
smokers, they go
again-
outside and they end up with the half a dozen
Well-
standing around smoking, are they, you know?
No, that's not what it's about, no.
Because I don't understand what the problem is.
Okay, we had a party there a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, and there was a tent set up in the parking area, and the party was around the building, and there were a lot of complaints about it.
A tent?
A tent,
From the library or from the people? at the
from the
library?
people having the party,
Like a pop-up.
like a canopy thing, yeah.
Well, yeah, I think they probably should.
I wouldn't even think about doing
You
that.
know, you're not renting the property, you're renting the hall.
I mean-
You know, you're renting the hall. you're not renting-
Exactly.
If you want a fairground, go to the fairground.
We used to put the tent up there when they were doing pig roast over
Yeah.
there.
Well,
So, I mean,
They used to
you say you
cook the pig right out there.
already done it.
A
so.
lot of people do when they rent the building. I know out the Smith Creek American Legion, they've had that problem. And luckily, they have lots of property, but they actually built a pavilion on the back side of their building because they were having people, and it's like people complained they had no parking. It's like, well, you put a pop-up in the middle of it.
Well, we have a motion on the floor in a second. We want to vote on that or?
What, I guess what, I need to know what the motion is.
The motion is to combine private parties to the building and not, utilize the outside area because it's small. It is small. It's not like we have a lot of land there to overflow. We don't have any really.
And you have the library there.
And we have a library there.
But, they'd have to put up with that stuff too, so. Well, do we want to, we have a motion and a second, let's vote. Roll call or?
That's fine. Okay, Mrs. Tremble, yes. Mr. Apple?
Yes?
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Riley?
No.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion carries. You got anything else, Carolyn?
Okay. No, I already told John about the publishing. That was the note I had.
Okay.
So I think we're all set.
Jody, treasurer's report?
I don't have anything other than I would like to know if we should go back on that speed limit thing and do the board approval right now,
That's all.
as opposed to doing it at our next meeting, which is going to delay it even further, if everybody's in agreement.
Oh, just to make a motion that we go for.
Let the board approve.
Reduce.
Yes.
Reduce speed limit?
We'll just save the time of waiting
Put
till
that
next
in
month.
motion, that's a good idea.
I'll second that motion.
And send a letter somewhere?
Send a letter.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll contact them.
I'm not,
Yeah, we'll get
any
a
other
letter.
legislators.
Yeah, I'll send one to Phil.
And I'd like to see, do we, now we don't need to designate, do we want to designate where we want the boundaries of that? Or do we just want to, we'll go
Keep it
We have a
open.
choice.
Well, I'm sure that.
Yeah, from state
I'm
park
sure that-
entrance to state park entrance.
Yeah.
Alright.
State park
That's not bad.
entrance.
I was gonna say Myrtle.
I agree with that.
I was gonna
because
say
we went
Myrtle.
through pictures of all of it today and how the traffic was flowing, just to pay attention to it. And it would actually, both the entrances would be excellent. Give ample time
I'm not
to
sure
slow down.
that's,
No,
I think Myrtle.
it should go past the gas station. I think the original, when you said from the state park to the church, because that gas station, that's another corner, especially
Yes.
this time of year, that's just
Oh, they're not
loads
gonna
of
go-
fun.
You're talking the
They
Bowl
will
station?
take it all the
Yeah.
way up
They
there.
will not. That'll never happen.
No, after talking to them today, they'll never take it all the way up there.
Oh, I'm thinking,
Well,
I'm
it's not that
thinking,
far to
try.
That's, you
I'm
could go
thinking
to
1,000
Old Shore.
foot before the state park and
Well, that is a-
after the state park
Which
down
would
there.
be what, about Myrtle?
Well,
State park
Yeah.
entrance to state park entrance.
state park entrance to state park entrance, and they'll work
Pretty
that
well
out.
defined there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor to petition the state to reduce the speed limit through Lakeport. All in, I guess, do we want a roll call vote on that?
Probably.
I'd ask for a roll call vote then, please.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremble, yes.
Okay, motion carries. Anything else, Jody?
Nope.
Cindy, trustees report.
That was gonna be my topic of conversation, so
Okay.
The speed limit?
the speed limit,
Al, got anything?
I have nothing else other than that accident Thursday night, I don't think it was a result of speed. I mean, there's a lot of
No.
investigations and everything, but I mean, that was.
No. That was an
The
error.
boy pulled out, that was
Yeah.
just an error.
Even look, that's a
It-
blind spot.
Oh, no, it is, I totally agree, but I just don't want
It's
anybody to
horrible.
think that truck was speeding, the
That
truck was
truck
not
was
speeding.
not
The
speeding.
truck
No,
was-
but
the truck wouldn't have
Not
stopped
to
as
slow
fast
that
as
down
it
and
did.
stop as fast as he
Well,
did.
it was a miracle that he
That's
stopped
a
that truck as
miracle.
quick as
That
he
truck
did.
driver was
So
awesome.
everybody
Yeah,
had in there.
yeah, that's all.
Okay.
That's a blind spot. It's, I don't know if there's any other warning.
It's just
Could
horrible.
be on Birch Road, because,
Yeah.
yeah, you can't.
You know, the only other thing that might help, not specifically at that corner, but as you're looking to the north, if they were to, if MDOT and the county were to kind of trim the trees that are kind of growing up in the creek there, I think that
Yeah.
would be a great help to start.
I'm gonna go back to me. Yes, because this comes with you.
We're not allowing you to go back.
You have. When you come out of the east drive at the cemetery,
On Lake Shore? Oh,
No.
Birch Road.
on Birch Road,
Yeah.
There's a tree there. needs to be
that
trimmed.
branch needs to
That
come
pine
out.
tree.
Absolutely, the pine
I
tree
think
needs
In
to
the middle
go.
drive.
It's bad, you gotta get all the way out on the road to see what's
In the
coming.
middle drive.
Well, I don't know whatever drive it
Well,
is.
either drive, either
But
drive you
that
out, you
branch
can't
is
see.
so far out there, you
Yeah,
can't,
I meant to have,
I almost went and got it myself.
ask Kevin to cut that.
Well,
Yeah, we'll
here's
get it.
another one. How about the shrubs at Eastern Michigan Bank? You can't see to get out on, is that Second Street? You cannot see to get out there
Yeah.
at all. You've got to be halfway into the road to see.
But see, that's part of that whole thing. Nobody, unless you drive a lot, you don't realize how many lines and curves.
Yes.
And it's like this summertime with the ice cream, the 2 ice cream places and the bar and the other businesses, you know.
Taco
There's like
Twister.
some days where literally you've got cars everywhere and yeah, it gets rather difficult.
And it's a busy road.
That spot at the end of Burtchville, if you were to sit there for a second while we were taking pictures today to make sure there wasn't a lot of traffic, if you were to sit there for a second, you'll see one great big huge clump of bushes that blindsides everything. Because everybody that comes up from the corner there, they'll go up and it comes around where Northland Gardens is, and one big huge clump of bushes or trees, whatever you have, that's sitting there. If that was gone, you might not have that problem.
You're talking
It's-
about
it's
at the
just-
creek
It's a
there?
bad spot, yeah. It's a bad
Yeah.
by beyond the creek. But
Yeah, that's what Al just,
it's just ridiculous right there. They could be, you cannot see, you won't see anybody coming at all, but they're hiding behind there because you just took a look at it and all of a sudden they're in your face and you have no warning.
You're talking along the creek,
Yes.
along Lakeshore Road, not on
Right.
Northland
No, on
Gardens.
on the other side, this side.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's
Around,
ridiculous.
see if you can get-
you're talking at the creek? You're
Yeah,
both
I
talking the
thought
same
that
thing?
whole- I think we're
Yeah,
talking the same
exactly, I
thing.
think so.
We're talking about the same spot and I
Yeah.
think it's awful. They kind of gave me a view of what that kid probably went through, you know, probably didn't see it at all. And it was just there, just
You
there.
don't, it's a lot.
I don't know that he ever saw it. His mother did.
I don't think he ever seen it, because, you know, you can see something. You look down there looks like there's no traffic at all coming, but if a few cars are together and they come around that corner where that blind spot is, you are not gonna see them at all. They're just gone, they're not there. Then all of a sudden, they're there. So if you looked at the wrong frame and time, you wouldn't think anybody's there. And it's
They're in that
sad.
curve, you can't see them.
Okay, moving on, extended public comment,
I go through the cemetery quite often, and there's a tree in there that's got a branch that's almost down to the ground, that's, should be trimmed.
Where's that?
It's by where Mrs. Loxton is, the little corner there, I don't know.
Okay.
And then I exited on 25, where the birches are, and that was hard to see. I just think it should be driven through
Oh,
and
west
and
side.
everything needs to be trimmed up. Yeah, just maintenance trimming. Because a lot of the shrubs in there, it's time to trim them as well.
On the West Drive, I don't know where you're,
There's I don't know,
there's 30, there's,
something hit my Jeep, which
Yeah,
isn't
you have to-
very
you have to-
wide, and
you have to
and I
show
was
me.
going out that way.
you have to show me. Because out at the road, that's all clear,
Okay,
because we have the double driveway.
okay, going out to the road, that must have been where it was.
Just stop in and show me where they
Yeah,
are.
just, you know, just drive through there.
They hit
Stuff
the
needs
car,
to be
did they?
taken back a little
Hit your
bit.
car at the stop.
You say on the north?
It's
On the
over
north
by
drive?
25 and.
On the north
You know,
drive?
when I was exiting, there was, you know, the shrubs are growing over
The shrub
the road.
The one
That
that's,
big one by the road.
Yeah, but it's not really by the road.
No, it's not out by 25, I'm sorry.
It's
It
kinda
is back,
It's
but,
back on the fence
yeah,
line there, right?
the point being that they need, you know, there should be some maintenance trimming in there anyway. Was the
Well,
cost of
last
the
time
thing?
we trimmed in there, we got.
No, that wasn't a trim. No, I'm talking
Trimming
ma-
again.
Give you a definition of trim.
maintenance trimming only, please.
Careful what you ask for.
Whoa, wait
Way overgrown.
Could be your fault, this.
No, if they're maintained, they shouldn't get overgrown, but. Also, was the cost of the briefs down from what it was before?
About $300.
Okay, so you did save on postage, was that where the savings was? Good,
That's what it costs, yeah.
yeah. No, I'm just saying, it was less than what you'd
Oh, yeah,
spent
what
before.
was, we were talking, what was it, Jody, that they were talking, if we went through Ready, set, mail or whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
Way down.
It still would have been more than if we put it in the taxes.
Yeah, true.
And since there still isn't anything time sensitive, I'm still in favor of it. If we can mail it out for free and get it to them.
Well, for
Well,
the
the
amount of,
remarks.
I'll tell you what,
Well,
we
how
got,
many
we got
remarks
about,
did you get?
we got about 35 people that wanted it mailed, and we got about 15 that said just to leave it on the website. I got that, I'm just guesstimating what the last time I counted it,
Yeah.
so. On all the residents, I don't know that warrants spending
Well,
money to do it, but.
If you just look at the statistics, half of the people would rather not have it and half of the people
Well,
would. So
yeah.
out of those that
No matter how they
responded,
received it, half of them are
you're
gonna
not
throw it in
gonna
the
get,
basket.
you can't
half of them are
expect
gonna
people
read
to
it.
respond. I mean, people
Yeah.
don't come here,
Yeah.
so, you
Yeah.
know.
But it's nice
Um,
though, like having the printed copy. I share that with my parents, and I will tell you, my dad is a technophobe beyond belief. And he can look through it, and he'll call me up about something, and I'll say, yep, I wrote it on my calendar, Dad, everything's good.
I mean, I'm just the same way, you know, I'm all about the website, I'm all about technology, emails, everything else, you know, that's what I like, but, you know, when, I just don't see a problem with the briefs being mailed out, you know? When you do have not that many people that are tech savvy, that's coming, you know, the library's getting a lot of the elderly people who are
Yeah.
signing up and learning, but until they do, and there's enough information that can go out, you know? Reading
Well, I'm not saying
Pavilion.
not to mail it out. I mean, it'd still get mailed out, so it's just a matter of when they're gonna get it.
Yeah,
It's gonna
but,
be the same information, and they're gonna get it.
yeah, you know,
Okay.
I just like to see it mailed out. The other thing is the yellow lines on 25, and I don't know if there's be anything done about it, but, you know, you can't see any of the lines on 25 at all when it rains or in the dark. And every time I go down 25 and I want to turn left on Harris, especially in the summertime at night, it looks like I'm pulling right out in front of everybody coming south.
Well, that's another,
it
thing we
just-
can ask this guy
And,
tomorrow that we're
You
calling.
know, those lines need to be maintained, they just
See, they job that stuff out now, so the state isn't up here every year like they used to be. to put
Yeah,
them on.
I know.
Plus, they spill it all over.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather have more yellow than,
I've only seen white spill.
We will ask that question to this guy tomorrow.
yeah, because I mean, you know, nobody's used to that. It's like the roundabouts when you go other places. It's like, you know, what are we doing here? You know, and then I understand when you go up north and you're not used to, you know, having that middle lane and it's not marked and there's no sign that says what you're gonna do. It just looks like somebody's pulling out into the middle of the road.
Yeah. Well, that's something we can ask this gentleman tomorrow, too.
Yeah, I'd appreciate
I'm
it.
sure
yeah.
he has control over all of it, so.
Mr. Apple, you
Yes,
said
ma'am.
the zoning person is that Mike Riley?
Mike Riley.
Okay, do you have roughly
Mike Riley
time
is
when he
still-
is leaving?
Pardon
Did you
me?
mention that you were going to be looking for another one?
Yes, we are.
Is
He's-
there a
He's,
specific
well,
time?
he worked for Marysville, he also
Right.
worked for Porter Township.
Yeah.
And he took us on because he needed some extra work at the time. Well, Marysville added 10 more hours to the schedule, and he just can't keep up with it.
Effective July 11th.
He resigned as of July 11th, but he's
Except-
gonna stay with us to take care of the stuff that, you know, until we can hire somebody.
Okay. So you'll be posting an ad or something to that?
Well, we're gonna look around to see, you know, they're not easy to come by, you know. We have a couple people in mind, and what we need to do is sit down and decide what we're gonna do with that, so.
Yeah, because we really,
It's nice if you can get one that's already had training, so we don't have to pay
Yeah.
for it.
and, you know, we don't want to lose traction. I mean, several times that house.
No,
has
he's
been brought up,
gonna
and that's the
stick
big
with us
thing. So,
until we hire some. And I hope to have that done within, you know, I'm hoping to have it done by next board meeting, you know.
yeah, because this
But
has been
if
multiple
in fact it
times.
doesn't happen, Mike will handle the stuff up until the time we can hire somebody, so.
Okay.
Don't fret about that, so we'll try to.
Well, like you said, when I saw the little eyes looking back at me, it's like, okay, flashlight over here.
Okay, anybody else? Somebody like to entertain a motion to adjourn?
I will.
We have a motion to adjourn, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Nobody wants to.
so excited.
I'll second. I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Thank you, folks, for coming.